boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm ForClassic and welcome to BenchART. So for today we have in here MotoGP 20, a game developed by Milestones SRI, which is usually the developers behind MotoGP 20. And just like their latest games, they are using Unreal Engine 4. So for the settings, I will be using a custom resolution of 960 by 540, and I will be using 100% resolution scaling because unfortunately this game only allows you to select between 50% or 100, and honestly 50% sucks a lot. So I decided to create that custom resolution. In case you want to know how to create it, just check the link on the description of the video. And there are some other options that you can drop down below the low settings, like depth of field. And here we go. This is the minimum requirements for the game. These guys ask for a GTX 1050, which unfortunately we don't have. So the GT 740M, it is clearly so low, so much lower than that. As for the frame rate, I decided to test the game with low settings, my native resolution, and it was a disaster because I got a 1% low of 20 and an average of 29, which for this game it is not good. Although with this 540p with minimum settings, I got an average of 44 with a 1% low of 30, so it was certainly playable. Although, and unfortunately, this is how the game looks. And this is not the only issue with the game. This game stutters from time to time. This is a CPU issue. Not really exactly a CPU issue. It is more of this game requires more CPU than what I have. What I have is my i5 4200U. But if you have a better CPU, your game will stutter less. And if you have a worse CPU, well, then you might be into issues, even with more issues than what I have in here. And so I found out the solution would be like capping the frame rate of the game to 30 frames per second. It would help a little bit. So what you need to do it is to go to the graphical settings, and unfortunately I'm dumb because I've gone to the replay, but go to the graphic settings and just use the frame limits to 30. I know it sucks because nobody wants to lock the game at 30 frames per second, and unfortunately it still stutters from time to time, but it feels less pronounced, and overall the game will be more stable and the temperatures of your laptop, for example, will be lower because of that. So that's my preferable way to play MotoGP 20 with the GT 740M. And as for the game itself, the physics model are very different from last year. I'm not really sure why the guys do this. I mean, yes, there are a lot of new tracks and the career mode definitely improved from the last game, but still the artificial intelligence seems to have a little bit of mixed reviews on Steam. Some people do enjoy the new artificial intelligence and some others don't really enjoy it. Also, like I was telling you, the physics are a little bit different. Some people complain a lot of lack of grip from the rear wheel. I do complain about one of the stuff that some people on Steam are complaining. It is every time you brake, your back wheel is always lifting up from the asphalt. So it is kind of hard to control the bike. Sometimes it feels unrealistic and out of place, but some other times I think it is right. So it's a little bit of mixed bag, but still there isn't any other, any other game of MotoGP out there. And so for the best of or the worst, this is the best and only game available for this type of sports. Alright, so MotoGP 20, it is awesome on that regard. It isn't really a bad game, but I feel like it isn't really perfect, and that's what pisses me off a lot. But still, Steam users are very happy. There is a score of 83% on Steam. Some people complain about the widescreen support. It is not great, the 21:9. But I do think that the game it is good, and they are asking for $49.99. What I don't understand is why these guys insist in releasing one different game every year. I think they don't really need that. I understand what they are trying to do, but still I think it is too much. But anyway, like I just told you, for all intents and purposes, this is the best and only game that does MotoGP right. Alright? So guys, that's all that I want to talk about MotoGP 20. Hope you keep enjoying the rest of the video, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.